As it's been heating up here in the UK, we thought you guys might need some cooling down. So we'll be drinking a refreshing summer cocktail, the Mint Julep.
And after Nick's hosed me down, of course, it's worth noting that you can't make a Mint Julep without bourbon. So we'll be sampling the Maker's Mark 46 Kentucky Straight Bourbon, both in our juleps as well as neat.
As always, if you're bored, have a spare moment or not operating heavy machinery, you can check out more whiskey-based content on all our social media platforms at Whisky and Things Podcast on Instagram and at Whisky and Things on Facebook and Twitter.
And we still can't afford a marketing department, so please do us a favour and hit that share button.
You're listening to Whisky and Things with Nick Kent and Dave Giles.
Welcome to episode 71. I'm Dave Giles.
And I'm Nick Kent. That's Dave Giles, who's done a few gigs this week, I think, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Oh my God, I'm not gig fit at all. 6 gigs in 5 days, and listen to me, I can't talk.
Wow, well, it's all going to be on me today, is it?
Yeah, it's all on you, mate.
You'll get back on it. Hey, yesterday, July 27th, as this goes out, was National Scotch Day in the US, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
So happy US National Scotch Day to everyone across the pond. So, of course, as it's National Scotch Day, we're doing a bourbon today, everyone.
Of course we are. Of course we are.
So there we go.
You enjoying the Olympics so far, mate?
I'm loving the Olympics. It's great. It's on when you wake up. It's fantastic.
It's great,
woke up this morning, 3
Tom
medals
Daley.
or whatever. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yes. Yeah, Tom Daley's 4th Olympics. Can't believe it.
I know, right?
Was he 14 when he started, wasn't he?
Yeah. Nuts.
Absolutely.
How was your
brilliant.
weekend, sir?
Good. I did a gig. Just
Nice.
one, so I still have a voice, but then I didn't sing, so yeah. But my fingers are still there after playing one gig. But I enjoyed
Excellent.
it. It was good.
Excellent.
There we go. Right, should we crack on? It's warm in
think
here.
we should.
I'm getting a bit parched, Dave. I think I might need some refreshment.
I definitely need something cool and refreshing for my vocal cords right now, Nicholas. What have you got for me? So, Nick, you're not going to believe this, but something has just turned up right in front of me. Pre-made.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like there's been a cocktail maker in the room.
Oh, my
But there's
word.
not. It's just me.
Oh, wow.
But this looks like a very refreshing drink in front of me.
Wow. You know what, then? I think we should start a new segment, Dave.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I reckon we should start a new segment with Who's Round? Who's Round?
Oh, wow, you sprung that one on me.
Whose round is it? Dunno.
I don't know. We both seem to contribute to this one.
We did, didn't we? Well, last week, Dave wanted to make a refreshing drink. You know, that's what he said. He's like, we should make a refreshing drink. And I was like, do you want to do any of the prep? He's like, no, I want you to do it. So I have, and here we are. We're doing the Mint Julep.
Excellent.
Which we've made beforehand because nobody wanted to hear the clinking of glasses and the smashing of ice and all that kind of stuff. So, yes, because this week's drink, we're doing this week's drink. Drink, everyone. Drinking things. The bourbon we're doing this week is the Maker's Mark 46. And we thought it'd be nice to make a Mint Julep with it. So that's what we've done. Oh, it smells good.
So Nick, obviously I now know what the ingredients are, and we'll talk about that. But what is like mint julep? I mean, the clue's in the name, right? Mint. But what the hell is a julep?
I don't know what a julep. You know what? I read this earlier, but I didn't put it in there. This is right. Everyone goes, why do you do so much research? Why does it take you so long to do your research? Because Dave might ask me a question and I need it written down. And this is one of the things I didn't write down today.
Okay, well, I'm sure it won't take long to Google. Google is our friend here.
Will you do that? And I'll tell people a bit of the history.
Julep? Isn't it a glass?
No. Anyway,
All
you
right.
Google
It's a
that.
it's a sweet flavored drink made from sugar syrup, sometimes containing alcohol or medication.
Yes.
Or medication. Interesting.
Well, I'll get to that. As with a lot of these drinks, the history is a bit different whatever you look at, but it's broadly thought to have started in the southern states of the USA as a breakfast or medicinal concoction used to settle the stomach.
Oh,
Yes. For example...
good for sore throats?
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. In 1784, in some medical communications, it's quoted as sickness at the stomach with frequent retching and, at times, difficulty to swallow. I then prescribed her an emetic and some opening powders and a mint julep I don't know what any of that stuff is, apart from the mint julep. That was 1784, everyone. The breakfast part came from when you're waking up. It's good to have, it's thought to have been good to have some high-strength bourbon to like get you moving, essentially.
The coffee of its day.
Yeah, and the mint was there to freshen your breath.
No way.
Yeah, I also read that it's often made with rum and stuff as well, but I think they just grabbed whatever they could and whacked it in there.
Brown spirit and mint with sugar syrup.
Yeah. I guess the sugars there obviously get you going as well. I don't know. As a cocktail, it blossomed in the southern states of America in the late 1700s with the decidedly elite air, meaning rich people, because not everyone had access to ice nor the silver or pewter cup in which the drink is served. Yeah, it's known unofficially as the drink of the South, and mint julep has become the official drink of the Kentucky Derby since 1938. Nearly 120,000 mint juleps have been sold at the race every year since. I think that's where the cup came from as well, where that cemented that cup. Because apparently they did it for like 1 year and people stole them. So then people had to buy them to get the mint juleps. And it was that kind of copper or silver cup, which everyone knows, everyone sees these things served in.
I'll be honest, Nick, I don't know what you're on about.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So I'll Google that later.
Yes. They're beautiful. They're like, because it's metal, because it's a cold drink, it all frosts on the outside, from the ice and stuff, and it looks really, really nice.
I imagine there's quite a few of our listeners who have never seen those cups as well. Maybe I'm wrong. Listeners, let us know. Have you seen the cup?
Yeah.
Have you seen the cup?
Well, today I wanted it to look really hipster, so I'm using an old, like a jar mug. You know the ones? I thought about using one of these little ceramic things, which some people might think of.
Camping mugs.
A camping mug, yeah, the ceramic. That's my Weta Workshop one.
Nice.
But I went with a jar.
Did you go to New Zealand, Nick?
Funny enough, Dave. Boom, boom, ba-da-da-da. But yes, mine's melting quite quickly, so I'm going to try some now.
Oh, please do. I like the idea that the food or beverage associated with Wimbledon is strawberries and cream, but the Kentucky Derby and mint julep.
Yes. Great.
I love that.
Fantastic. The ingredients are fresh mint leaves, about 8-ish, 2 parts of the bourbon of your choice, so 2 ounces, that's about 60 ml, a generous double measure, essentially, and then half part simple syrup. It's between a quarter and half an ounce. It, again, depends how sweet you want it. So
simple syrup. I had to make some of that earlier.
Yes.
Basically,
it's quite easy.
Sugar and water.
Yeah, half sugar, half water. So half a cup of sugar, half a cup of water, and then you just gently heat it until it's all dissolved, and that's it. And then you just put it in a bottle or a container, and then you can put it in the fridge for like a month. So you can just keep using it over and over.
Yeah, that would have been a good. Why didn't I do that? I just did it. I did like half a cup's worth.
Yeah, no, I bottled mine in one of those Cooper King bottles.
What a genius. Okay, yeah. Right, I'm going to be doing that later. That's such a good idea, because if you're going to make cocktails throughout the summer, it's always good to have this stuff on hand, because you can use it for loads of stuff.
Yeah.
There was
a ball ache to keep making as well.
Yeah, there was a similar drink we had with the new make for Cooper King. That was sugar syrup and new make. I can't remember if there was the least in there.
What is it called? It was called the something 6, wasn't it? So it was
I can't remember.
4 parts something and then 2 parts syrup or something. Easy 6
maybe. But it was really nice. I made it a few times because I bought a bottle. I wish I'd thought of that, because every time I had to keep making more and more sugar syrup.
Yeah.
I didn't think, just make a batch, idiot.
Go back to episode 50 if you want to hear that recipe. When they were on. Easy to make. I'll just go through this quickly. Add all the mint and the syrup to your julep cup, highball glass or jar, depending on how hipster you are. Gently muddle the mint to express the oils. Okay? Oils with your muddler or any other
I used a spoon because I don't have a muddler.
No, I used the end of cocktail spoon. Add the crushed ice. Crushed ice is a ball ache to make.
Yeah. How did you do yours?
I did normal ice cubes, wrapped them in a paper towel and smacked them with
I got a sandwich bag.
Right. Oh, good. That's good too.
Because then they don't leak.
And it doesn't stick to the tea towel. Mine was sticking to the tea towel.
And I was just smashing it against the side of the kitchen.
That's a great idea. That's a brilliant idea. And then it sticks to the tea towel, and then you get blue bits as well in your ice.
And then there was a few bits that were still a bit big. So I got a wooden spoon.
Yeah.
Just crushed them hard with a wooden spoon. Still in a sandwich bag. So the wooden spoon didn't need cleaning.
Absolutely. Nailed it. Right. Once that's done, once you put that stuff in, you add your bourbon, today being our Maker's Mark 46. And then you stir and garnish with a sprig of mint. Remembering, before you garnish, to give that mint a bit of a Jeff Whisky smack on the hand.
Why?
Just to release the aroma.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Now you got minty hand. Never a bad thing.
Oh, minty hand. It's my nickname at college.
Yeah, of course. I remember that. Nick Minty Hand Ken.
Yeah, rolls off the tongue.
How I forgot.
There we go.
I forgot that. No idea
Anyway,
how I forgot that.
How do you enjoying it? I'm loving this mint julep.
Mate, this is amazing. It is super refreshing.
Yes. I found on the recipe I sent you, they recommended putting Angostura bitters as a finisher on top.
Yeah, I saw that.
But then I read the reviews and everyone was like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, I didn't feel that at all.
No.
But I did then wonder whether adding mint to an old fashioned would be good.
Possibly.
So who knows? My girlfriend has a mint plant in her garden, so it was quite nice this morning going out and picking some leaves and having fresh mint.
Nice. I had to go to Tesco for my fresh mint.
Well, there you go.
I also looked for a mint julep cup in Tesco as well. Thinking
Did they have one?
No, they didn't.
I was going to say.
But I'm thinking, would Waitrose have one, or would the home section in M&S have one?
I don't know. I'm sure the Whisky Exchange has one.
Oh yeah, online.
And if they do, Nick, put a link in the description because I might buy one.
There's loads online
again and again.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking last minute or high street where you can pick one up.
This is a perfect barbecue drink. Do you not agree?
It is, as long as you got the crushed ice done already.
Yeah. The crushed ice is the hardest part. Can you buy crushed ice? Can you buy a bag of crushed ice? Probably
I
not.
don't think so, because it's just going to melt a little bit, then all stick together and be a big mush.
Yeah.
You get that with normal ice cubes. I find myself having to whack them to get them apart again. So, first world problems, eh?
I know, right? I actually, from Morrison's, I did buy some new ice cube holders for the old freezer today.
Oh yeah,
that have got slightly easier push cube out thing because I had the old ones that
the plastic
back
ones
on the side to try and get them out.
No.
That wasn't fun.
You can't put enough money on a good ice cube tray.
Exactly, and this was £2, maybe less. Anyway, maybe Nick, we should do some Whiskey and Things ice cube trays.
What, of our heads?
Yeah. Well, you'd have a perfect egg-shaped in my... If you want a Dave ice cube, it will be an egg-shaped ice cube.
Yeah, you could do the big ones, the
will be
spherical ones, which go in the old fashions and stuff. Big Dave head. No, your face one side, mine the other.
Perfect. Oh my god. We'll get the R&D department on to work in that one.
The R&D department. I haven't been to that department.
I think it's next to the marketing department, which is also non-existent.
That's me,
so please make sure you hit that share button.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Our Patreon is. I'm loving this. Yes, this is a great barbecue drink.
Yeah, or just any nice day. I'm getting the same satisfaction out of drinking this as I do eating ice cream, and I love ice cream.
Yes. I nearly looked into doing some ice cream this week. We might do it again because it was National Ice Cream Day the other day in America again. America has all the days.
They have a day for everything.
They do. And some of the whiskey brands were posting great ice cream and whiskey, recipe stuff on their sites. And it was good. Nearly got you to make like a bourbon coffee ice cream with chocolate and peanuts and stuff today.
Don't like coffee though, do I?
Oh, must have ruined everything.
Trust me, it's not the first time, won't be the last. I just ruin everything.
Right. I'm enjoying that.
Let's make this again. Does it have to be bourbon, do you know, Nick? Or is it the kind of thing where we could just try any whiskey and see what happened? I imagine it's the sweetness of the bourbon is probably one of the reasons why it's a good thing, right?
I think just because it originated in the South, that's where the bourbon bit came from. Kentucky, etc. You can put anything in it, I guess.
Yeah, remember, I think I mentioned this recently. It may be in the live show in episode 75, but Jay Bradley was talking about smoky old fashions, which I've still not done. And I'm thinking, would that be nice with this? Maybe. Who knows?
Smoke and mint? I don't know. It's got to go with the mint, really. That's the That's the thing there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point.
Well, listeners, I will be putting recipes to the Mint Julep in our description, and a few other fun things as well. I'll tell you what, Maker's Mark have some great cocktail recipes on there as well. I was going to make, but I won't. We'll save it for another time, actually.
Nice.
An old-fashioned cooler.
Tell me more.
It's a quicker, more refreshing old-fashioned. It's bourbon, simple syrup, Angostura bitters, and soda water. It's basically a highball version of an old-fashioned, basically.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I got all this. Well, I didn't have all the stuff, but I nearly made it today with one of these new hard seltzers, which are really popular.
Everyone's talking about them at the moment.
Yeah,
aren't they?
it was on Sunday brunch the other day, so I bought some. White Claw hard seltzer. This is the mango one. It's basically sparkling water with alcohol. And then nearly put that in there just to see what it was like.
Did you see the Sunday brunch the other week that did American single malts?
Yes, I did. Who was on there? Did it have a Westland on there?
I don't know. I just heard it happened.
Yes, it was. And it wasn't Westland. It was another distillery from that area, though. But yes,
Anyway,
I made a note of it.
I digress.
It's all good. Sunday brunch is great for that stuff, by the way. If you're in
Apparently,
the UK, Sunday brunch on Channel 4 on Sundays, 9:30.
Is it on Sunday? Is it for brunch?
Funny enough, it's on Sunday. Yes, if you like brunch.
Not just a clever
on Sunday.
title.
It's no. They have like a drink section most weeks, and it's really good. Usually they have some great whiskey sections. So.
Nice.
There we go. Anyway.
Nick, just to finish this section, when in America are they going to have Whiskey and Things Day?
I don't know, but it can't clash with the Chinese Whiskey and Things Day, because I think they probably have one after our surge a few weeks back, I think.
Okay, we'll keep campaigning for that one.
Well, we'll try and get an international Whiskey and Things Day, because then everyone's in on it.
Yeah, I love that.
You're listening to the Whiskey and Things podcast.
Interesting is that how when I lose my voice, it doesn't turn into a voice which would make good stings.
That was a special COVID voice. You know, it wasn't my voice was tired. It was just like something really wrong was going on.
No. Oh, actually, I can do things. Whiskey and Things is brought to you by And Things Productions. Not really. No, it sounds rubbish, Nix. Nix? I'm going to start pluralising you from now on.
You hallucinating? Is there two of me here?
Mate, that cocktail was just really good. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, man, isn't it?
Talking of which, we made it with Maker's Mark 46. So I think it's time we do this week's whiskey.
Surprise, surprise. It's Maker's Mark 46. Kentucky Straight Bourbon.
Sorry, could you say that again? I think I missed that.
Maker's Mark 46. Kentucky Straight Bourbon. 47% ABV. Everyone.
Have we done Maker's Mark?
I don't think so, no.
I don't think
we did. Did we? No, because I got the weird, I don't know. I've got the teddy bear with the jumper from Christmas. Because they did a special Maker's Mark bottle with a little a jumper on it with Maker's Mark.
I'm just going to check.
Yeah, have a little look. It doesn't matter because this is a completely different whiskey.
No, we haven't.
We didn't
I don't think we have.
I don't remember doing the thumbnail.
We've done 2 bullets.
Wow. Right.
We've done Buffalo Trace. We've done Michter's, Hudson Baby Bourbon, 4 Roses. No, we've not done it.
Hudson Baby Bourbon.
You know, that's really interesting because I just assumed we had.
I kind of thought we hadn't, but hey,
interesting.
Let's just jump to a fancy one, eh?
Yeah. So obviously most probably not most bars, but Maker's Mark is fairly common in most supermarkets and bars. It's fairly common. You'll see it quite a lot, even in the UK. Probably more so in America.
It's one of the established brands, which has made it all around the world, which is awesome. The reason why we did the Maker's Mark 46 this week is because when I bought it from the Whiskey Exchange, there was the option to buy it with a really cool gift box.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Nick's holding up the gift box.
I'm holding up the gift box.
I wasn't just a wow without.
Oh my God.
Wow for the idea of there being a gift box. That's because I've just seen it and it's epic.
But this gift box, right? It's actually a herb box, or as I say across the pond, an herb box.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Nice.
Which encourages you to make mint for your mint julep.
Get out of town.
Yeah, it's great. You're meant to kind of put it on the windowsill. They give you mint seeds and all the instructions to make a mint julep and all kinds of things. But they give you the box to sit on your windowsill to make your own mint for your own mint julep.
Oh, that's amazing.
it also looks just great on the shelf if you just want to put your bottle in there and backlight it because the back comes off, and it's great. It's great. It's a really cool little box with there, and I love it. And this is my second bottle of Maker's Mark 46 because I finished the first one.
You enjoyed it so much.
I did it. I love this. This isn't like jumping to the end or anything. I really do like this. But I think they've got you as well. The fact you got the box. Once I finished the bottle, I was like, I've got to get another bottle to put in that box. To keep that on the whiskey shelves. But yeah, that's why we're doing it this week, because it just seemed to fit. Dave wanted a refreshing drink, Mint Julep. Oh, Maker's Mark 46. Came with a Mint Julep
box
stuff.
for that.
Yeah, I've got a box for that. Fantastic. It comes with the seeds and all kinds of stuff. But there we go.
Can you still get that? Is that still a thing, or is it limited edition?
I don't know. On the Whiskey Exchange, it's no longer there, but I think it kept coming back.
Right, so it might be a seasonal thing.
It might be a seasonal. Yes, I think it was around Christmas. It's when I did that big shop of all
which was just after Christmas.
Whistle pigs and stuff. Was it just after? When did I think, I really want some more whiskey on my shelves. I'm in lockdown. Yeah, it was after Christmas.
Yeah.
I spent like 250 quid on a load of bottles, and this was one of them, everyone. So yeah, it was just after Christmas. But there we go. So the 46 was released in 2010. It was the first major expression to be created at Maker's Mark Distillery since their original bourbon went into production in 1953. Everyone.
So it's quite a baby whiskey.
Yeah, it's a baby whiskey.
In some regards.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess so. It's still quite old.
Yeah, well, it just feels like most of the whiskies we seem to be talking about have roots in the 19th century.
I guess so. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, they may have disappeared and come back again, but they seem,
so the distillery, it's located on the Star Hill Farm in Loretto, Kentucky. Maker's Mark was co-founded by Bill Samuels Sr. and wife Margie Samuels, funnily enough. Bill experimented with different grains to come up with his mash bill, but in order to save years of aging time, instead of making the bourbon, he baked several loaves of bread with various grain combinations instead of distilling them.
What?
And then he just tasted the bread. He was like, "That's the bread I want." So that not only saved him time, but also led him to swap out the traditional rye grain that is commonly used in bourbons for the soft red winter wheat. So this doesn't have rye in it, like most bourbons. Most bourbons is at least 51% corn. It has to be that to be legally called a bourbon. And then they fill the rest up with rye, and then there's usually about 10%-ish of malted barley. But in this one, he's got rid of the rye because he didn't like it in his bread. And then he's put wheat in there. So this has got, what's the mash bill for this? This is 70% corn, 16% wheat, and 14% malted barley, which is a bit different through a lot of other bourbons. So you won't get that kind of spicy rye kick. It'll be a bit sweeter.
Do they use the same mash bill for the standard makers, or is that?
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yes, I didn't know that until last week. We touched on this a little bit in episode 75, which is coming up, because we did a bourbon in that episode for our live show, everyone.
What's the difference between the 46 then? If they use the same mash bill, what's the difference between what they've done with 46 and the normal one you can get?
Like the standard Maker's Mark, this one's been aged in American white oak, virgin white oak, to be a bourbon. It has to be virgin casks.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, for about 6 years. And then the 46 is then aged for an extra 2 to 3 months back in the same barrels. But in those barrels, they then put special seared French oak staves into the barrel. So they're kind of like doing this extra finishing with wood staves within the barrel as well.
Wow.
Yeah. Apparently they tried dozens of different wood staves that were cut, toasted and charred in a number of ways, etc.
In the same barrel? We've not heard of this technique.
Well, not in the same barrel, just in a oak barrel. Again,
oh, right.
Perhaps not, But it's not like another special. When other companies finish whiskey or a bourbon, they'll put it in a barrel of say a rum cask or port cask. That's how they finish it. This one, they put it back into the same kind of barrels, but they're putting wood staves in there, like 10 wood staves, like French oak, toasted, again, virgin oak staves. Apparently, they added these to the Maker's Mark cask strength and eventually discovered the wonderful effects of the seared French oak had on the bourbon. The virgin staves apparently amped up the notes of vanilla and caramel in the 46 without the bitterness that often comes with additional aging. So yeah, it's added flavour to it, the vanillas and stuff. So yeah, that's why this is a little different. It might be a little stronger.
So why
as
is
well.
it called 46? Because it's 47% ABV. So it's not because of that.
No, it's just a random number. Right. Which came out of, they did a load of finishing experiments. And Bill Samuels Jr., son of the guy who founded it, and the master distiller Kevin Smith, with assistance from the independent stave company, who are the distiller's long-term cooperage, they finally landed on a flavour they liked. And Bill Jr. learned that the stave profile, which they really liked, was just called Stave Profile Number 46.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It's the recipe. Yeah, it's like they tried it 46 times, or they tried
does
however
exactly
many
what
times.
It says on the tin.
Yeah, might have tried it 100 times. We're like 46. That's that one. So they just called it 46.
Nice.
They do, after this came out later on, you can actually choose if you want. There's a range called Maker's Mark Private Selection, where you can actually choose what staves go into your barrel. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
I think maybe you have to go to the distillery. I don't know. I need to look into it. I'll put a link in the description to that one as well. Cool. But yes, this is the 46th recipe, which they liked, everyone.
You're listening to Whiskey and Things.
And so, Nick, tell me about the bottle. Is it much different from the original?
It's a completely different shape. It's bigger. It's chunkier. It obviously has that signature red wax over the top, which you can't see because you don't have the bottle. You see that, Dave?
I remember that from Maker's Mark, but yeah, I hoped that was still included on this.
Yeah, it was Bill Samuel's wife, Margie, who came up with that.
Nice.
And originally, she actually, they're still hand dipped. Every single one is still hand dipped. It is nuts. But originally, she did it in her kitchen.
Wow.
In, let me get this right. In something she used to fry chicken in. Yeah, that's it. She hand dipped them in her kitchen in her home fryer to melt the wax. It says on her website, Margie's fried chicken was never quite the same, and neither was the whiskey business. But yeah,
Amazing.
Each one's individually done.
Amazing.
That's why I always kind of looked at them. I'm like, is that wax slightly different? That wax is slightly different. So yes, that's pretty cool. I love that. Everyone's still hand dipped.
Yeah,
and
I like
there we
that
go.
as well. You think that's, if they were the first, I don't know if they were the first people to do it. By the sounds of their website, they're claiming they were the first to do it. But you think of the Drinks by the Drams miniature bottles we've got, they're all hand dipped in wax.
No, I think the wax thing, I think they've probably copyrighted the red wax which drips.
Oh, I see.
I think that's the thing they copyrighted. Because yeah, wax is just a way of sealing things. But the red wax is theirs, I believe.
It's a Maker's trademark.
Yes. But that's the thing, they do other special editions and stuff where they'll change the colour of the wax for a specific like event, and they do special editions and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, well, obviously I've had this in a cocktail before, but I've also had it before a few times. I love this whiskey. My memories are that I love this whiskey. We're going to look into it more now, obviously, but having had Makers, which I think is all right, I think it's, we've talked about this numerous times whenever we do a bourbon, it's got that bourbon flavour. It's a bourbon.
It's a great bourbon.
It's a great bourbon, but it's the same as, not the same. It's got the same profile as quite a lot of other bourbons. And that may be that I just don't have the palate yet to distinguish Buffalo Trace, Makers, Bullet, or whatever. That they're all much of a muchness to me. So when you look at something like this is where I start to appreciate bourbons a bit more. When you take that step up. And this is one of them, which I really enjoy. I find it really drinkable.
Me too.
Getting loads of corn on the nose and the spice and
Spice.
Oh my God. People should play a drinking game for today's episode of every time my voice breaks. Drink.
It's fantastic. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's got a bit of spice to it. There is a vanilla nose to it. Note on the nose as well.
It smells fantastic.
It does. It's such a good... Give me a candle, Nick. Get me a candle, a Maker's Mark 46, please. Ideally, a red candle.
It's going to have to be a red candle.
It has to be red. It has to be red. It's such a pleasant smell, this. And to drink's not bad either.
Ah, it's a Beam Suntory. Didn't know they owned it. Just looking at the back of the bottle, everyone.
Oh, it's so good.
I love this bourbon. I bought it a second time. This is like a treat one. It's not as much as a treat as the Blantons, because that's expensive and hard to find. This is kind of in between. You can get it. Let's talk about price.
What are we talking? 50 quid?
we're talking 40 quid.
No way.
Yeah, which I think's
Okay,
I think
this
it's
is
a
so
great
drinkable
bourbon.
for a 40 quid bottle of whiskey. This is so lovely.
$39.95 at the Whisky Exchange. With the box, which when it is available is 45. It was like an extra £5 for the cool box.
The cool box, which you could get once and then never get again.
Yes,
Unless you want to build a whole mint garden all around your house.
You want an herb garden,
A
Americans.
few different herbs in every single box.
Yeah. The original was $27.95 on the Whisky Exchange. Again,
Okay.
prices will vary. So you got a good jump there.
£13 though, I think well worth spending the extra 13 quid. Why would you ever get normal makers if for an extra 13 quid you could get this?
Don't know, just budget or whether you just like normal makers. If it's 27 quid on offer in a supermarket, that might be 20 quid, 23 quid. I would.
Do you
buy
remember
that.
when we did? Do you remember when we did the difference between Bullet and Bullet 10? And we
Yeah.
said that Bullet 10 is an interesting drink, but not necessarily superior.
Yes. It was more like we kind of thought, oh, it's a cool. If someone likes bourbon, give them the 10 because it shows
Because
you
it's
like
different.
them.
Yeah.
I got you the bourbon. I got you the 10 for
and that's why you got it
Christmas.
for me for Christmas. Exactly right.
Yeah.
And it's great, and I love having it there. But I also love really normal Bullet. I think they're both really interesting. But they're not. One's not necessarily in my mind superior to the other one, even though the Bullet 10 is more expensive. I don't feel like that with this and the difference between normal makers and 46. 46 is a superior drink, hands down,
Yeah.
in
I
my
can't-
opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't AEB'd them, but I haven't been going back to Maker's Mark. Like
Yeah,
a Buffalo
I don't-
Trace, I keep going back to for an everyday, as it were. But this is one I'm like, every time I have it, I'm like, yes, I like that, and I want another bottle, please.
Yeah. I'm now annoyed I don't have a bottle of this.
They do a cask strength version of, I don't think it's finished with staves, etc. But they do a cask strength Maker's Mark. That's like 70 quid. I'm intrigued by that. I don't know the ABV. I should look that up as well.
That is intriguing because I don't recall seeing too many cask strength bourbons from the bigger distillers. Like I've seen that when I was in Tennessee, you saw a small batch of independent bourbons at cask strength in every liquor store, and they looked amazing, and they were all expensive and lovely. And I had one, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
I don't recall seeing it from Bullet.
It might
for
be
example.
limited. Might be. No, well, it's on the Whisky Exchange. Again, I'll put a link in the description for that, everyone.
Yeah,
But I'm
so
trying-
Makers 46. Value for money, exceptional. For a
So if you
bourbon,
get
for a high quality bourbon. I think it's amazing.
This is great, and it's a great treat one. This is yeah.
But that
Paul-
price, I don't know why you're saying it's a treat one. It's not like some of the 70 quid scotches we've talked about or the Garyana are for 150 quid. They're treat whiskies. This becomes almost like a mate.
Well, again, it depends on everyone. For me, a 40 quid bottle, I would still call a bit of a treat. The normal Maker's Mark or a 25 quid, whatever, Buffalo Trace or an 80, that for me is a normal. This is I don't need it yet, but have I earned it? I need to earn this one. 40 quid, have I earned it? I'm not sure yet. Again, everyone cuts their clothes to their cloth, as they were.
That's fair enough. I like that. I like that thought process. But then I don't really drink daily, do I? So if I'm having a drink, it's normally because I
Nor
feel
do
like
I,
I've earned
everyone.
it.
Honest. But no, I know what you mean. But 40 quid is, we had Vin PF on a couple of weeks ago. For him, 50 quid was the benchmark of, is it worth 50 quid, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So again, it's different for everyone. But
Sweet. Well,
I really enjoy this.
and also, as we proved, it was great in a cocktail. And for 40 quid, you don't feel like you're wasting a good whiskey in a cocktail.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't mind.
You
putting
don't, do
a
you?
bunch in there.
You don't have that fear of, oh God, what if this doesn't work because it's silly money?
Yeah.
I would happily try this with all the different bourbon cocktails, and probably it would make all of them taste amazing because the whiskey is amazing.
Yeah.
And actually, I remember it was funny when you sent the mint julep recipe over. I think one of the opening lines was that this is a good drink, so use a good whiskey. It did say that. It said if you've got a premium bourbon, use it because it's worth it.
I read somewhere else as well, using a higher proof bourbon means the ice doesn't melt as fast.
Interesting.
I'm trying to work that out. Again, depends on the external temperatures, etc.
That would make sense when you think it. That would make sense when you think it.
It's not that much. It's only a 47, but
No,
yeah,
but
more than the 40,
that's enough to
standard
make a
40.
difference, isn't it? Like you think the whiskey, like That's that whiskey we put in the fridge. The Dalwhinnie, the freezer, doesn't freeze.
Yeah.
So it does make sense. That if it's got a higher alcohol, it won't.
Oh, you could put it in the freezer before putting it in the drink. That would help as well. Anyway, I'm just thinking out loud, everyone.
That'd be interesting to try. That's an interesting experiment to try, Nicholas. Yes. Put in some bourbon in the freezer before making your cocktail. Will that make it even more refreshing?
Oh, I'm sure it would.
With a chilled glass.
Would it change the? Oh yeah. Would it change the? We're getting into chemistry now. No.
And on that note, sting me.
The whiskey.
The whiskey. The whiskey. The whiskey. The whiskey. There you go, Nick.
I've used 2 different stings today, which I now have to use because Dave has reacted to both of them.
Well, if you're going to use them when we're recording them, I'm going to react to them.
I know.
He's got a new device where he can now use them while we're recording.
It's called a laptop, everyone.
It's got a new bit of software, which means he can now use them while we're recording, and therefore I'm going to react. And I love it. It's great.
I like this. Dave can't shout too loud because his voice is going.
I can't shout at all.
Yeah, it's quite nice.
I think that was the issue. Too much shouting. Yes. So Nick, what you got planned for the rest of the week? You got a busy one?
I'm editing our 75th episode.
Nice. Watching more Olympics?
Watching more Olympics, of course.
Best time. It's best time. I love the Olympics.
I was watching the sevens today. I never watched the rugby sevens.
It's such a good sport, isn't it?
I remember playing rugby sevens.
Hard.
Knackered.
Brutal.
I remember once coming back after a break to the new season after not working out or not doing any exercise. And trying to play rugby sevens.
Vomiting
I did.
Everywhere.
I vomited.
Yeah,
I vomited that day.
I knew it.
Because we had to do all the work because we're back. Because we're running.
It's why I gave up rugby.
Because you vomited at a sevens match.
First session back after my GCSE summer when all I'd done is just drink all summer.
I think that was the same time I would have done that.
Yeah. When I got thrown up for a line out.
A line out. Yeah.
Line out. Got thrown up, come back down, and just had to walk over to the side. It was like, nah. Bottom.
Yeah.
And then the coach made this big chat about how he wanted us training 5 days a week. I'm like, I've just vommed after the first one. I ain't doing this.
Was that a school or club rugby?
That was a school. Yeah, our school took it far too seriously.
5 days a week. School.
Yeah, and this training session was in the school holidays. It was like 2 weeks before school started, pre-season training. Yeah, they took it far too seriously.
Yeah,
anyway, a whole other story. I'll have a boring story of my life there.
Yeah.
It would be a chapter of my book, which people would gloss over.
If you want to hear about that, listen to Space and Things podcast, everyone. Next week.
Yes. I made Fred Hayes last week, so that was
a good episode. The Space Shuttle stuff. Go listen to Space and Things this week. Fred Hayes.
Yeah.
From Apollo 13, everyone. You know.
Oh, that guy from the movie. Real life guy from the movie.
Was he Tom Hanks or was he another one?
No, he was Bill Paxton.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
And he's outlived the guy who played him in the movie.
Wow.
There can't be that many people.
We've talked about this before.
Yeah, I've brought this up to you before and said how many people.
Actors who have,
died before.
Who have outlived the actors who played them in films.
Yeah. It's got to be a short list. It's got to be a short list.
Really uplifting list.
Yeah.
There you go. Anyway, Whiskey
I didn't
show,
bring that up with him. Funny enough, I didn't bring that up in the interview. So, Fred, how do you feel about the fact you outlived Bill Paxton?
Bill Paxton, yeah.
I did consider it. It was on my short list of questions, and I thought, I won't do that.
No,
anyway. I don't want to bring up anything to do with death when he's in his 80s. Anyway.
Wow.
This
show's been a great end to the show.
Yeah, here it is.
Everyone, we've covered a wonderfully refreshing cocktail today, which is really easy to make. Even Dave and I can make it in our stupid little...
And I don't have any cocktail making equipment at all. Yeah. Nick's got a few things. I just used glasses and a teaspoon. That's all I used.
Really easy to make. It's really delicious. So, yes. And put a nice bourbon. Makes 46. We loved it. I'm on my second bottle. Sam Simmons said, you haven't sold one bottle until someone's
You're
bought
not a
two
successful whiskey until you sold 2 bottles, is what he said.
That was the direct quote.
Yeah.
So I'm on my second bottle. So there we go. That's why they've been around for however many years.
Because Nick's bought 2 bottles.
Yes, I'm keeping them afloat.
Anyway, mate, I think the Angels have had their share today. What do you say? They've had a share of my voice, that's for sure.
Yeah. I have. You have.
The Julep have.
Yeah. So, and so have you, listeners.
Cheers. Thanks for coming.
Whiskey and Things has been brought to you by